I was rewatching one of my older videos I did on the Navy. This is early today, my fault. On the Navy SEAL set of events that have taken place, them raping somebody, these killing people overseas. And I mentioned how they seem more and more like the SS. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that in a society that is going further and further towards fascism, with an empire that seems bound for collapse. In a country that seems to be getting more and more violent day by day by day by day. And you have an increased mission tempo, you had more and more wars, and these guys that carry out secret operations, sometimes even Congress doesn't even know what they're doing. That's right. Remember the guys that got killed over there in Niger? Congress didn't even know about that. So in that kind of an environment, the SEALs seem to me more like an ideologically driven force. Not of good, but of force. And the fact that it's almost like now America's, remember with the Nazis, you had the honor courts and people's courts and all that? And what that basically was if they wanted you dead, they'd come up with something to kill you. You know, if they didn't, then you survived. So you're okay. Kangaroo court, essentially. And that's what seems to me more and more. Not that the judges and the courts are messed up. I'm referring to when Trump comes out and just says that troops can get away with murder. And things like that. And I'm saying it because I mentioned you earlier. You had the Navy SEAL cocaine thing. Nothing happened really to them. They killed the Green Beret. I mean, they killed. This isn't. We have to understand. So this, I try to get people to understand where America's going, because we're not in Kansas anymore. This is not 2003 anymore. This is 2019. You had Navy SEALs kill a Green Beret in the bunks and lie about it and cover it up. And he's dead. He left an orphan. He left a widow. He's dead. And they not only covered it up, now they're gonna get like 1 year in prison for murder. Let me go out here, let me bust in one of these apartments, choke somebody out, and see what happens to me. I guarantee it won't be 1 year in prison. especially if it's somebody who's a Green Beret, especially if it's somebody who has not done anything to me. It wouldn't be okay. Even if they had, it wouldn't be okay, but it'd be different. They ran up on this man for nothing because he was going to snitch out on them. They killed him. And that it's just something about the psychology in that. Not only them getting away with it, but something about it just reminds me of the Nazis. That's overrated. I mean, we would talk about the concentration camps and all that. I don't really get too deep into that. AOC calling them the camps on the boy concentration camps. I don't get into that, but I get that. I get it. It's kind of like them calling torture pressure. Come on, man. It's torture. You're torturing people. You know, the same thing that you went after North Koreans for during the Korean War, you do the same thing. You're no better than them. We're no better than our enemies anymore. Let's understand that. America's no better. They may be a little more better being secret. And when I was watching the video, I was thinking to myself about how the fact they can get away with this stuff and there's no real outrage. Like when you had My Lai and all that, you had outrage. And in America, I guess the only thing I seen was them joking about needing to add an HR person to the special forces. Like they should be allowed to do whatever they want. I think it's interesting that you find the idea of raping U.S. servicemen and murdering U.S. servicemen in their bed. Just what boys do. I find that very intriguing. I wouldn't say it bothers me, but it's not surprising to me. It's not surprising to me at all. Recognizing the kind of people that we're dealing with now. I was mentioning to you about the tweets or the texts, talking about going in and killing the judge, burning up the courtroom and all that. This is where America's at now. the barbarian that you've used in these wars for the last 20 years, well, he's coming home now. The barbarian is angry. He's home. The shooting they had up there at Dallas, the guy shooting the courthouse, he was a U.S. serviceman. Yeah. I talked about it earlier, too, that you're going to have more mass shootings. You have to. These guys are not well. It shouldn't surprise anybody why they're not well. They're not well. And you're talking about starting another war with Iran. So, like I said, to me, it's an ideological thing. And that's why I mentioned the SS. It's not that the SS were so smart or brilliant or better than anybody else. It's that they were ideologically driven. The SS functioned off of hate. The SS functioned off of the idea that they needed to exterminate the races that they saw to be inferior. And they felt like we had to move them out of the way so we can spread out a Lebensraum, a breathing room for Germany. I don't think it goes that deep with America, but I would say that philosophical racism is there. I don't know why. I want to be special forces. I want to join there, and every day I look at it, I'm like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? What was I thinking? Listen, you're not alpha to be raping women, and you're not alpha because you're part of a. You know what that really means too? SEALs are a gang. That's another thing. You know what we call groups that rape people, and the rest of the group turns rank and nobody talks. That's called a gang. That's what fucking gangs do. When you go kill somebody and they cover it up, that's a gang. That's conspiracy. That's what we call it here in America. Civilized people call it conspiracy. It's not honorable. There's nothing honorable about it. You're a bunch of fucking gangsters. That's all you are. You're not heroes. Nothing patriotic about that. Nothing patriotic. You're a bunch of fucking gangsters and murderers. And now the barbarian has come home. That's what's happened. I said it before. The chickens have come home to roost. Yes. That's what you're watching now. That's what you see. Chickens come home to roost. And nobody's really safe. Nobody's really safe. I think it's dangerous that there seems to be kind of a legitimization or an acceptance of these deeds, these dark deeds as well. Like it's funny, like it's something to be overlooked. That's a problem too. That's a real problem too. That shouldn't be accepted. Shouldn't be accepted by anybody. Peace out.